Test, test, test. What is good, YouTube? This is OWS The King for OWS The King Gaming, your hub for casual gaming. The games I played in January, all the games that I played in January, we are going to rank them. I got Tier Maker here loaded up, and we are going to check out at least about 10 games that I played in January. Funny thing about this is that I did a ranking last year in February of around this time for the games that I played in January, and I ranked them, and I did a video, and I never did another one. I never did another one, and it was 10 games too. It was 10 games just the same as this. And yeah, I didn't do them anymore. So here's to hope that we will do a February ranking too. I'm not promising anything, not promising nothing, but we are we here today, man. So before we get to it, please, if you are a subscriber, make sure that y'all hitting that notify button to make sure that you getting every video I post. I post daily, sometimes multiple times every day, whether it's gameplays, chats, reviews. We do everything here. So that is that. Uncle OWS, what did you play here in January? Well, if you are a subscriber to the channel, you pretty much seen every game I played in January, because I'm very transparent with my gaming. Everything that I play, I record, and everything I record, I put on the channel. So make sure that if you want to get some good gameplays, I mean, not necessarily good, but palatable gameplays, make sure you check those out. I kind of split them up into sessions, and I sprinkle them out throughout the week. So we'll be talking about Jackal here in a bit. That game was a little under an hour. I played the full game, so the full game is on the channel as we speak. And then you have games like DuckTales that, on my end, I played through the whole game, but I may have posted one of two sessions of the gameplay. So that is that. Let's not mess around anymore. Let's get right to it. So in no particular order, we will talk about the games that I played, and I'll give you my initial thoughts. I'll give you how I felt about them, and then we'll give it a ranking, and yeah, we'll go from there. So game number 1, Metal Suits Counterattack, and I played this on the PS5. Oh, side note, I really got to get to it. If you guys have listened to the last podcast, please go check that out. If you haven't, we talk about my backlog and how I'm tackling that backlog here in 2026. I talk about games and consoles that I want to play, and game consoles that I've ignored in 2025, and I want to rectify that this year. And yeah, that's it was a good hour and a half discussion on certain games, man. If you're really interested in backlogs and stuff, that's kind of my thing as of late. It's kind of talking about games that I've had collected and just put on the shelf and have not touched, and really want to get to a lot of these games this year. This is the year of the backlog, man. So, and then podcast prior to that, I talked about why in 2025 I didn't have a top 10 games that I played, because I spent most of that year playing sports games. So we're really playing catch up here. And while that being said, we got 10 games here, and Only 2 of these games are replayable. I mean, not replayable. Only 2 of these games are games that I've played already. So the rest of these will be games that were on the backlog and games that was on my shelf and on my digital library that I finally got a chance to check out. So yeah. All right. So first game is Metal Suits Counterattack. Metal Suits remind me of a game that I played in 2024 called Broforce. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the same devs that made that game and they made this one. I wasn't expecting much from this title at first, but after watching the trailer, it seemed it was pretty interesting enough to check out, especially since I only paid like $5 on the PlayStation Store. The game loop is pretty simple, blowing some shit up with some style and just using different suits to get you through the game. What's going to keep you engaged if you decide to check this one out is that you're using the different suits, like and what the supers that you can do with the suits and the multiple kills that you can pull off and being able to up your ranking at the end of each level. It's heavy on the collectathon side. They're really pushing the collectathon type of thing, trying to find different items up in walls, different little trinkets, and they kind of have like a checklist in your menu or at the end of each level that shows which ones that you were supposed to get. Plenty of secrets to uncover in each level. Like I said, just like bombing a wall to access a hidden room. Some of them reveal themselves. They'll show like a flashing light in like lower shadows or something, or like a star. Others sit in plain sight. Some you discover purely by instinct, like just out of habit from playing like ton of similar games over the years. This is pretty much how it felt like for me. From playing so many games and stuff, you have that instinct that you look down some low corner and you know something's there, whether you don't see it right away, something's there, and you just you have to go check it, and then 9 times out of 10 there's something there. There's some secret. It's not winning on any awards for the looks or the style. The game is very 8-bit influenced. Your main character doesn't have much of a visual movement. He climbs up the ladders very like unserious, but you are definitely not playing the game for the looks. The story isn't anything to care about. It's just good, mindless fun. You got like a Gatling gun suit, your flamethrower suit, you firing bullets into like a chained up landmine balloon position right below a group of enemies. Then you hit it and landmines flies up, taking out most of the enemies above you. And pulling off those kind of kills just feel real satisfying. It takes a minute for you to really get started because the first 15 minutes of the game, it just really forces you into that gameplay tutorial. I've never liked that about games at all. Give me the option to do the tutorial through the menu. Don't add that into the game. You know what I mean? Experience some graphical hiccups when the screen gets real busy, like during like big explosions. It'll briefly freeze, but other than that, it was fine. It did what it needed to do. Real cool retro type modern game. I would give this game a C+. So C+ tier for Metal Suits Counterattack. All right. And I played this for the PlayStation 5. Did I say that? I don't know. And well, let's just give it a C because I didn't put a C+. plus edit all. We'll say C. C's fine. C is fine, maybe close to yeah. We'll say C. All right. Not bad. It's C minus. Oh, we'll stick with C. Hey, you know what? I'll stick to my guns. We'll say C for Metal Suit's Counterattack. All right. Next game we're going to talk about is Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception. I also played this on the PlayStation 5. This came out of that 3 game remaster where it did Uncharted 1, 2, and 3. So yeah, this is the 3rd Uncharted game I've played so far. The other 2 being Uncharted 2 and The Lost Legacy. I still haven't played Uncharted 1 or the 4th installment. I personally feel the story took a back seat to the action in this one. More on that later. This is a remaster of the PS3 game, and since I never played the original, I can't compare the two so far as looks. Still, most of the game looks really good. The scenery, the overall style of the various towns, the caves, tombs, feel real grand in hindsight. Spain generally looks like Spain, and the Saudi areas had that authentic feel to it. There's a step up so far as looks from Uncharted 2 in terms of the visuals, I should say. But from what I remember, the remastered version of that game wasn't a slouch either. I played that last year. Like I mentioned, the game really shines with the action and the set pieces, but it's far from perfect. Like, I had a real issue about direction with this game. Like, early on, you playing like the young Nathan Drake, and it was this chase scene, and in mid-run it turns into like a guessing game of where you need to go. I end up missing jumps and turns and end up dying a few times because it wasn't clear on which direction I was supposed to take. That shit took me a while. Combat has improved, adopting that Batman Arkham Spider-Man style where the parrying and the reversals are done by pressing the triangle button. Real dope, making the fights feel smoother, especially against the multiple enemies. It feels like a slow build between action set pieces, starting like the standard gunfights at the beginning, then escalating by the middle and the end of the game, doing like the jumping of the horses onto trucks and taking down boats and shit. As far as the puzzles go, they didn't seem to be many compared to other Uncharted titles. 3 at the most, if I can remember, that I can definitely recall. It really feels like they dialed that shit down this time, which in my opinion, to me, that's a good thing. I'm not the biggest fan of puzzle sections in these games, so for me, the less is more. You feel me? My issue, well, the problem for me with this title is, and why I like Uncharted 2 a bit more so far as the Nathan Drake saga, is that the story, this story in 2 feels like 2 halves, not like 2 parts of the same whole, but almost 2 separate games. In one half, you're in Syria and France with Chloe and Sully. Then you spend a few hours progressing through the game, and then the story just shifts and wraps stuff up with Elena and then Sully in Yemen without mentioning, they didn't mention Chloe ever again. I got on that bus and Chloe was like, "What you doing, you dumb fuck? We're done doing this shit. What are you thinking about?" And he was like, "Mind your goddamn business." She was like, "Oh,
that was too close."
He'll be okay.
No, I mean the whole thing. Just isn't worth it, Nate. What is it with you? What are you trying to prove?
I'm not trying to prove anything.
Right.
And then she was going like, that was crazy to me. Like the even in the time that he spent with Chloe, the relationship between them two from Uncharted 2 wasn't even addressed at all. Like that shit felt odd. The backstory of how Nate met Sully, that was dope. That was well done. Their dynamic throughout the game was probably the best, or the only story element worth staying invested in, especially toward the end. So more importantly for me, I could so I could care less about Nathan Drake. If we keeping it a grand, I could care less. As a character, I never saw the appeal of Timu, Indiana Jones, the male version of Lara Croft Light. I just don't. The side characters in these games seem more interesting, which is why I love Uncharted Lost Legacy so much. Like Chloe and Nadine always felt like more complex, engaging characters to me. I couldn't care less about anything that Nathan had going on. But Sully, if they ever made a new Uncharted game, I'd love to see a Sully Origins arc that could probably span a few titles if they did it right. You know, I would be down for that. I really don't want another game with Nathan Drake. I really don't, especially as the main protagonist. Gameplay is the highlight here. The gameplay will be the highlight, with moments like, escaping a burning building, during the shootouts, or leaping from a Jeep to the plane just before takeoff. That's just going to keep you hooked. There are some major plot holes through the game. It feels like parts of the story between games 2 and 3 are missing. I've heard that there are comic books to help fill some of that in, but it really shouldn't be necessary. For a game nearly 10 hours long, the story should have more cohesiveness. As usual, there's a lot of filler platforming that could be trimmed down a lot. I still recommend it. It is a good game for the action set pieces. There are plenty exciting moments of this game. It really is a blast to play, but so far as narrative, it's really one of the weaker ones in my opinion. I'm going to give this a B-. This is a B- tier game for me. And yeah, B- for the old Uncharted 3, Drake's Deception. All right. Yeah, we're cooking. DuckTales Remastered. I played this on the Xbox 360. One nice thing about Disney Plus that I love is that my youngest daughter can watch old classics like DuckTales. It's one of my favorite Saturday morning cartoons from when I was younger, back in the 80s. Her and her brother have been binge watching the seasons and really enjoying that experience together. So I had an urge to replay DuckTales Remaster on the Xbox 360, which is based on the original release game on the Nintendo, which came out in like 89 by Capcom, by the way. Oh, Capcom and Disney, man, they used to make some bangers. I'm on the fence about this and recently revisiting the original version from back in the day. While it looks great here with the characters like resembling themselves, the original cartoon voice actors, if I'm not mistaken, they all showed up. I know the man that did the Scrooge voice was in here, and pretty much sounds like everybody that from the show. But the gameplay feels real mid. The platformer has actually gotten worse compared to the original. Sometimes unresponsible when you're using your pogo cane mechanic. The enemies don't do much till you get to the boss. The enemies themselves feels more in the way than the actual threat, you know? The navigation is really, really bad. It's really bad. Having to pause the game just to look at the map, I've never been a fan of that. It's a lot of starting and stop, which really could fuck up the flow of the game. Not a fan of the music neither. Remastered songs can be hit or miss with a lot of these types of remastered games, and this one was a miss here. This is one that could have given you a choice between the two, but they didn't. I wish they would have gave that choice in the menu or something for you to switch over to the 8-bit songs, because in my opinion those are 10 times better than what they gave you here. But overall decent. Quick playthrough that won't take much time away from anything else you want to play. If you nostalgic for the original cartoon, this is worth picking up since it really captures that vibe of the cartoon show from back in the day, especially with most of the original voice actors returning for, Scrooge, Mrs. Beakley, Launchpad, Webby, Magic Hood the Spell, the Beagle Boys. Yeah, man, all of them here.
Is there really a monster in there, Uncle Scrooge? Don't be silly, Webby. Yeah, there's no such thing as Dracula.
But if you want the authentic way of playing, and I don't want to sound like a purist or nothing, but the best way to play this game would be on the NES, in my opinion. So DuckTales will be getting a C tier. Also, I will give it'll be before Metal Suits though. No, you know what? Metal Suits gameplay is way better than DuckTales. So far as the voice acting and the look of the characters from the show is pretty much the only draw of DuckTales, in my opinion. It could be a little bit lower because that gameplay is not good, but it's not over Metal Suits. So yeah, but it'll be still a C. All right. Next game, 007 From Russia with Love, and I played this on the original Xbox. This is another backlog game for me. From Russia with Love is often overlooked when talking about James Bond video games. In most conversations, you'll hear more about GoldenEye and the other first-person shooters that followed the 007 license. This is a third-person action game based on the Sean Connery version of the character, widely regarded, in my opinion, the best James Bond of all time. Is he not? So right from the start, the voice acting is top notch. Nobody was phoning it in. The major characters from everyday NPCs, Sean Connery himself reprised his role and contributed voice work. And from what I heard, this is one of his last projects he worked on. The controls are solid. In the Xbox and PS2 era, the controls and movement were often hit and miss. They didn't seem to have fully figured out proper controls most of the time. Everything feels smooth here though. Shooting and aiming are satisfying, and ducking, covering, sneaking around, engaging in stealth combat. And I'm one that hates stealth combat. It's easy to pick up here. Switching between weapons on the fly works smoothly, and driving isn't a chore. It doesn't feel much like a chore, making for an overall good experience with this game. It's really not reinventing the wheel, though. If I had played this back in the day, it would probably impress me even more. If I hadn't already played about 100 other games just like this. Just a fun video game with a solid movie license behind it. The great set pieces for different areas you visit. A decent story to keep you hooked. EA back in the day was just unbeatable with stuff like this. Do you remember when EA Games was at the top of the food chain? They was the game in echelon back in the day. And the music, what can I say about that? That iconic John Barry, Monty Norman, 007 music is just all time, man. Go out of your way to play this.
Oh, Moneypenny, let me tell you the secret of the world.
Well, I give this one A- tier. A- tier for 007 Russia with Love. All right. Hey, man, we blowing through these. Good flow. Pac-Man World 2 Repack. I played this on the Xbox Series X. The remaster or remake of the old PS2 and Xbox game didn't hit like I expected. I was hoping for something that would fill that Astrobot void. I got to the second boss and it was like this owl, and in the gaming loop of that boss just ran me off the fucking cliff, and it really turned me off. I mean, damn near impossible after the second form of that boss. So I cut ties with this one real quickly and just have not gotten back to it. That boss run it was really cheap and instantly just took me out of it. On the positive side, the game ran smooth and looks great. Bright colors, impressive presentation of the world and the characters. But after that first world, it went downhill. The difficulty spike was nuts, man. It was nuts. And the platforming became frustrating, headache, and I just wasn't expecting it. It's definitely challenging, but you have to be in the right mood for that kind of gameplay. I was hoping for something with a steady level of challenge, but this was not it. If you get far in the game, it gives you a chance to pick up some old Pac-Man classics like Pac-Man Land, Mrs. Pac-Man, so that might give you another incentive later if you want to try this out. But I mean, you can pick up those games anywhere nowadays and stuff. If you have an emulator box, everybody has Pac-Man in some form of fashion. I'm going to give this one a D tier. D tier for Pac-Man World 2 Repack. All right. Final Fight 3. And I played this for the Super Nintendo. Final Fight 3 is underrated for being one of the first games to feature a co-op character controlled by AI mechanic. While couch co-op was common at the time, playing through the game with a computer partner was something that many titles didn't have back in the day. Even now, if it's rarely replicated or done well, it wasn't until Streets of Rage remake, this fan-made beat 'em up, that you could truly customize how your partner behaved, making them more useful for like handling some of the dirty work. You can basically give them a prompt to show them how to act. But unfortunately, like the attempts for that falls short here, with your partner getting in the way most of the time. You end up losing more lives because your partner is kicking your ass more than the enemies are. In this version, they added a mechanic where you fill up this meter to perform a super move, and all the moves that you execute use Street Fighter style inputs. So for example, Guy has a hand fireball, and you have to put in the basic Hadouken input. Personally, I don't think that's necessary for a beat 'em up, because for one, it's the only complex thing in the game. So far as music, you know what you're gonna get for a Super Nintendo title. Upbeat but muffled and a lot of fucking reverb. It's a solid beat 'em up. I would say it's a little better than the second Final Fight, but nothing is going to beat the arcade version of the OG Final Fight. After the first title dropped, you feel like they forgot the formula, you know? This one is not as hard hitting. It don't sound hard hitting as the original Final Fight. It's working with a little more of a story. Guy is hinting that he missed out on the second Final Fight because he was part of Street Fighter Alpha. Now he's returned to the third installment, so that was a cool Easter egg. This one is good for what it was though. A quick 1 hour beat 'em up playthrough. It didn't overstay its welcome, which for a game like this was nice. If it had been like 2 hours gameplay, if it had been like a 2 hour game, it would have gotten real repetitive and boring real fast. The same type of enemies made the boss fights feel forgettable. The music was pretty mid, like I said, but I still respect the whole AI partner mechanic. I thought that was pretty cool. Playing solo probably would have gotten old real quick, so the fun definitely ramps up in co-op mode. This isn't Cadillac and Dinosaurs. This isn't Streets of Rage 2. This is definitely not Aliens versus Predator, but it's still worth checking out. So I rated a C tier for Final Fight 3. And damn, we're screwing over DuckTales, ain't we? We'll put it before DuckTales. All right. Yeah, we'll do that. C tier for Final Fight 3. All right, Jackal for the NES. Jackal is one of those childhood games I play endlessly, but never made it past like the third level. On my channel, I've been doing a series where I add cheats to the game and play through them. If you've seen it or you check the playlist, it's called OWS Cheats the System.
Cheat the system.
Yeah, cheat the system.
Check those out. You won't be disappointed, or you might, who knows, but they've been pretty fun to do. I used a Konami code and a Game Genie code that let me keep my loadout after I died, and I just mowed through the game, which for me is still fun. That classic Jackal music is probably in my top 10 of all time music soundtracks in video games. Nothing but bangers. The gameplay always been solid. That hybrid of like shmups and action driving has been copied over the years, but nothing is topping Jackal in comparison. That feeling of taking out the POV bases, rescuing the captives while trying not to get blown up, and racing to the landing strip, and as soon as you get there, you get fired on, and you blow up and shit, and everybody scatters. It's definitely a stressor. Just like Final Fight 3, it's better with a partner thanks to co-op, but this one still delivers plenty of fun whether you're playing with a friend or doing it solo. The replayability has always been very strong with this one, whether you're trying to beat your score or do a no-death run. I don't have time to practice for it these days, but I definitely want to add that one on my video game bucket list for the next few years, a no-death run. That'd be pretty cool. And yeah, with that loadout cheat letting me keep my missiles, that gameplay just flew by. This classic game has been a nostalgic precursor in my life for over 30 years. One I've revisited many times over the years. I'm glad I picked it up and played it this past month. So you know where Jackal's gonna go. But I would have normally said it was Jackal was S tier, but I'll save that for when I beat the game without using the Konami code. Until then, it is a solid A tier for Jackal. All right, so A tier for Jackal. All right, yeah, man, we got our first A. Yeah, quick game, about maybe 40 to 50 minutes to beat. Highly recommend that one. Gory Cuddly Carnage. I played this on the PS5. Imagine Tony Hawk meets Devil May Cry. Then they fuck and no. Let me rephrase that. Imagine Tony Hawk meets Devil May Cry meets Stray. Okay, a little bit of it's an acid trip. It really is. It turned out to be one of the craziest games I've played in a while. This is one of those backlog games that I had that has been sitting on the shelf for a while now. I was kicking myself for not playing it when I first bought it. The strong point of the game is the fun factor, which coincides perfectly with the gameplay and combat. It's a pure hack and slash action, juggling combos while rail grinding and keeping your hoverboard energized all the while you're dodging hordes of zombies, unicorns. This game is out there. You can't fight just like mindlessly. Some enemies have these force field bubbles around them, so you need to hit them with your stronger attacks or use your shield to bounce off bullets off you onto them. All the while you're trying to keep your rank going, because the better you play, the more credits you earn for the upgrades. And you can do some real cool stuff with that shit. You can change how the cat looks so far as like the colors. You can switch up his clothes. You can customize the hoverboard designs and boost your attacks. They definitely don't skimp on the customization. And this damn game is bloody as fuck. When the action ramps up, you really can like lose yourself in all the unicorn heads and shit that you're chopping off. It really has personality all over the place. The one moment you're like in the graffiti covered back alley, the next you're inside of an arcade game. The game is ugly, but in a good way, with the unicorns that looked all fucked up, and the boss one is like this bear whose face is peeled back and he's shoved up in this Jack in the Box. The shit is gross, but in the best way. And you got to respect the artistry behind some of these wild characters. It has some real challenge too. It really did. Especially when you start getting swarmed by enemies. I died quite a bit in this game. I died a lot, but I always felt motivated to jump back in and just give it another run. It wasn't difficult for the sake of just being difficult or hard, like a Souls-like, but struck the right balance to keep you engaged without feeling like you're getting frustrated. The low points of the game will be like the platforming. You have this hoverboard that, well, hovers, and you might be led to like jump on a rail, do a wall jump, and then land on a platform all in one sequence. But even like the slightest mistimed jump can make you miss the mark or overshoot it like entirely. This happened a lot more often in the game than I would like to, which slows the pace in a bad way, especially during the boss fights. The stages ran way too long. I spent over 60 minutes on a single level once, and not even counting the times that I died and had to restart from a checkpoint. While there's stuff to do in the stage, it starts to feel real repetitive, like they're just padding the game. Then there's the boss, which can take like 20 to 30 minutes to beat because they have like multiple transformations during the fight. So Gory doesn't talk, probably because he's a cat. Everything else in the game talks endlessly, man. They don't shut up, especially like the hoverboard, which is cranked up to 1,000, and it gets annoying real fast. I think there's an option in the menu to turn off his banter, but I didn't use it. I recommend anyone that's playing it though to turn him the fuck down as much as possible. He got real irritating at one point. I almost quit the damn game, but we pushed through. At one point he did make a Lion King video game reference that I found funny, so I mean, there was that. This game does have some great visuals, but the neon was oversaturated in this game. There's too much of it, and when I tried to tone that shit down in my editing in CapCut, it only made things worse. It was pretty harsh on the eyes at one point. Thankfully, it's not presented in every area, but they definitely went overboard with that shit with the intense neon pinks and greens. The story is what it is, and you get a decent ending after playing through it. It might have lasted an hour or two longer than necessary, in my opinion, but it's still a good experience if you enjoy this type of game. Gotta tip my hat to the devs for doing something a bit original. A skateboarding zombie killing cat was a game that I guess I didn't know I needed. Take away some of the constant banter in the game and you got a solid title. It's a hidden gem. It really is, because I really don't hear anybody talking about this. For sure recommend everyone to check this one out. This is a B- for me. B- for Gory. It'll be behind Uncharted. Okay, so we got two more left. All right, let's talk about Atlas Fallen. Okay, I'll keep this one brief. I played it early January and dropped it pretty quick, but from what I experienced it was pretty decent. From what I gather of the story, there's this armed gauntlet that actually is an avatar looking motherfucker, and they're from different worlds. Your person and this avatar that turns into a gauntlet, it attaches itself to my character, and we just start kicking things off from there. It's pretty much it's very much a action RPG, various upgrades, chatting with townsfolk and taking on side missions or jobs for them. Pretty much stereotypical in that sense. From what I saw, there's a big world to explore, and there's this mechanic where you can slide across the sand, basically like Goku on a Nimbus, letting you cover like more ground. The combat is pretty standard. You got your light and your heavy strikes, your dodge roll. Every game has a dodge roll at this point. Your juggling techniques. One of the most fun mechanics in this game is the parrying system. It's called Sandskin, when an enemy lights up red and charges at you, timing your move just right will freeze them. And then while they stun, you can, whip their ass for a few seconds, giving you time to do that. So pulling it off perfectly is that part is fun as shit. In terms of the presentation, the overall looks, this game is heavy on motion blur. I know most people hate that and then will turn that all the way off, but I can find like a happy medium. The motion blur stuff don't really bother me, but it's really thick on here, man. You can't unsee it. Still, I can see how the default visuals might feel a bit like jarring to like other folks. I really can't. The enemies I encountered so far aren't real impressive. Rock-like creatures, rock and sand birds, stone and sand crabs, they all feel the same with no real innovation in the design. I said in the gory, when we was talking about the gory game, that was ugly in a good way. Well, this is ugly as fuck, and it's just plain ugly. It's not good. You aren't winning no awards with the story either and the voice acting. I'm only, let's say, maybe 4 hours into the game, but I can already tell this one isn't pulling off a God of War like narrative through the rest of it. I'm not a big fan of the menu either. Way too busy. I got to a part of the game where I was heading to a mission and got stopped by some creature. My gauntlet, the guy that's in the gauntlet warned me if I avoid these, they'll keep coming after me until they kill me. I'm not a big fan of forced fights in an action RPG. It's like playing Yakuza and having Majima constantly hunt you down in the street until you fight him, or he'll get more pissed. I wasn't really into that. That said, the combat is the game's saving grace so far. I had a epic, just fun fight between this giant crab that was really good, and that is on the channel if you want to check that out. Haven't played enough to recommend it yet, but I do think I'll come back to it at some point. Right now, it's not on the top of my list. I'll give this game a D- for now, and that's pretty low. That's I don't know. That's kind of how I feel about the old Atlas Fallen right now, man. It's not the worst thing that I ever played, but it's definitely forgettable in my opinion. Okay, all right. Let me get serious here for a minute. Okay, let me get close. Let me get close to the microphone. All right, I want y'all to listen and listen good. All right, because I'm only gonna say this once. This last game that we're talking about, Proteus, for the PlayStation, and believe me, I am not a person that bullshits. I definitely wouldn't steer you wrong. When I say something, I mean it, and I say what I say, and I definitely wouldn't bullshit you. But Proteus, the boomer shooter, the doom shooter, is possibly one of the best fucking games I ever played in my life. No bullshit. This game is so fucking awesome. This is a modern day doom shooter. Like I said, doom shooter, boomer shooter. And it came out in 2020. And I've had this game for at least maybe 2 years, and I put it on the shelf and I have not touched it. And we got to January 31st. And I popped it in January 31st in the morning. And I didn't stop until I beat the game. It took all day. It took majority of the day. and I couldn't put it down. I stopped to run some errands, and while I was out running errands, all I could think about was this fucking game. This game's the fucking titties. God damn it. So much fun. Proteus. Let's talk about the mechanics. They feel awesome. This game feels so awesome to play. It's simple. Walk, run, jump, shoot. But it does it in such a smooth way. You're not fighting with any camera to figure out where the enemy is. And there isn't any crazy platforming, which for me, that's a plus. Shooting guns feel snappy. All guns feel different and responsive, and you getting a shit ton of guns in this game. Narrative, it don't have a narrative. It don't need a narrative. This shit is fucking badass. You understand me? I'm frothing at the mouth here. Fucking love this game, god damn it. I don't understand much of why I'm doing what I am doing. I'm not sure if I'm a male or female character. I'm just really in love with this gaming loop. The gaming loop was a big sale for me. First person Doom shooter that leaned more on the side of just crazy, blood-soaked, tense, fast-paced, tight environment mazes, like structures, picking up your Beretta and just mowing down people, just mowing down space zombies. It just don't get old. It don't get old. The presentation, the art style, this what takes this game to S tier. Well, I done already said it. It's S tier. It's a beautiful fucking looking game. I've never played or seen a game that has an 8 or 16-bit style blended with almost like a stop motion and then running at 60 frames. Music going from like eerie to like heavy metal back to calm synths like within seconds. They made the blood look pixelated and wet all at the same time. I don't know, that's how the only way I can describe it. Upgrading is good. The game is just so tense. You try to go through different corridors and out of nowhere you get swarmed by just a shit ton of zombies and monsters, and you're trying to find a corner that you can just stand by a wall and just start shooting because you don't want to have people, monsters behind you, and you're trying to get them down, and then you're running out of bullets and you switch over to another gun and you're trying to it's crazy. It's so much fun. Haven't had this much fun with a game that didn't involve sports in so long. And that's not discrediting all the other games that I played, but this game always kept a smile on my face, and it was just a surprise that I didn't know that I needed. This is definitely a Doom shooter done right. And hey, I don't do hot takes. I feel like I say what I say, and that's just my opinion. But this is better than Doom. This is better than Doom. And Doom 64 is one of my favorite games of all time. This is way better than Doom. This is better than any Doom game that I've played. They really beat Doom devs at their own game. No joke. If they decided to remaster the OG Doom game, let these devs take hold of that. Let them take care of it, because this game was solid. Oh my God. And it's right amount of time played to this. I didn't want it to end. This is one of those games that I really had to stop myself to not go back and play again, because there's a lot of replayability in this game. You can go, it's a lot of stuff to find, secrets to find and pick up, and different time trials, different trials that you can play. They have this almost Super Mario like map that makes you go from level to level, and the menu The in-game menu is one of the ones that I've never even seen before, where you can basically navigate yourself into different parts of the area, and it's more of a first-person 3D type of, and it's really hard to describe, but it's very very fun. I highly recommend this one. This is one of the games that when I talk about your backlog, and I talk about how things like this is worth having a backlog for, because you put these games on the shelf and you don't touch them, and then you get to that point where you take it off the shelf and you're like, oh, I'm gonna try it, or whether you forgot about it or what, and you pop it in, and it's one of the best games that you've played, and you're kicking yourself for not playing it sooner. I was just like that when I played Horizon Zero Dawn in 2024, and I feel the same way about this. I am so glad and then so pissed off at myself at the same time that I waited so long to play this one. This, like I said, this one came out in 2020. This is definitely a 2020 ass video game. I wish, I wish I played it around that time, man. I had to go onto YouTube and see what other people was thinking about this game. Some guy did a review on it and said that this game was dog shit. Well, you know what? Fuck that guy. Okay, I don't know what the meth or wall paint chips that he's huffing on and snacking, but this game is the fucking titties, man. Don't listen to none of these sons of bitches. Listen to your OWS. This game is a fucking banger. Do you understand me? Yeah? No? Well, understand. God damn it. Fuck. This game is fucking awesome, man. This is getting the goddamn S tier. Fucking I forgot I don't know who that guy was. So I'll if I knew that dude's name and shit, I'll put him on blast and shit. That's deserving, because you're a fucking asshole, dude. Grifter bitch. All right, so yeah, this is, hey, so let's go. Let's review it again. We said Proteus is S tier. We said Jackal is A tier, of course. We got A- tier at Russian 007 from Russia with Love. No B tiers, but we got 2 B- tiers. Uncharted 3 and Gory for B-. We got a few C tiers. That's Metal Suits, Final Fight 3, and DuckTales. DuckTales should be C-. No, we'll leave it. D for Pac-Man. Okay, so this is one I messed up at. I would say Atlas Fallen is a D tier, and I would say, yeah, let's both keep Pac-Man Repack 2 and Atlas Fallen will be D tier, but Atlas Fallen is over Pac-Man for sure. So Pac-Man being the worst one from this month, from January, I should say. All right, that's A. That went down smooth. Yeah. If I could do that on a regular month and stuff, that'd be great, because this was fun to do. It really was. Like I said, I'm really focused on my backlog this year, so I definitely will be sharing that as the months go for the channel, and we'll talk about, like, throughout the month games that I'm playing, and we'll talk about games that I put down also, so because that's quite a few. And yeah, well, feel good about it. Feel good. What do you think about these games? So what would you rank them? What would you rank them? Would you rank one of these a little bit higher? How do you feel about Uncharted? Did I piss you off with the me saying that Nathan Drake is not my guy? I'm not a Nathan Drake guy. I'm more of a Sully guy. I'm a Chloe guy, Nadine, all those folks and stuff. But Nathan Drake, yeah, he can go take a piss. I could care less about Nathan Drake. So, but still fun game. And what did you guys play in January? Did you get multiple games, or did you just work on one? Let me know in the comment section. I'm OWS The King for OWS The King Gaming, your hub for casual gaming. Please like, comment, subscribe. Come back next month, and also check out the channel on a regular basis. Hit that notification button, because my shit is not being shown to my subscribers like it's supposed to. You guys gotta kind of do a little bit of the effort as of right now, because we're still a small channel here, but we're getting close to that 500, which that's making me happy. So all right, y'all, be safe out there. Peace.